A holiday abroad should be about making memories with family or friends. But according to the UK Health Security Agency, thousands of us are returning home with more than just souvenirs. Holiday tummy bugs caused by infections of the digestive system, often via food or water, are a surefire way to ruin your holiday. But in some cases, it has even cost people their lives. Since January 2023, 8 British tourists have died within months of falling ill with stomach bugs while on holiday in Cape Verde, according to lawyers representing their families. In May 2022, former police officer Nicola Morley booked 10 days at an all-inclusive resort in Cape Verde with her partner, Darren Cartwright.
Darren had just got over cancer and we wanted to just get away. And the marketing for this place was it was a new Caribbean. Plus we were divers, and so we wanted to try diving there as well.
Just a day into the holiday, Nicola felt unwell.
The first day I was by the pool and I can't even explain to you. I've had my appendix burst. It was that sort of pain in the lower stomach area. It was such projectile vomiting. It literally flew out like The Exorcist. About half an hour later, Darren came in and said, "Are you okay?" I was sweating, shaking. I said, "Look, I just need to go to bed." Next thing I remember is Darren slamming through the door and literally holding his mouth full of vomit.
The couple say their symptoms got worse, and even though they rang reception for help, none came. After 5 days, they struggled out of their room to get a taxi to the local clinic for help. So what happened when you got to the health facility?
They laid us on a bed and then they just put these drips up and just left us. And then a doctor came and she said, "We've got gastroenteritis," or whatever it was. "You know, we're going to give you loads of electrolytes," things. I said, "No, we are really ill. This isn't going to work."
Nicola and Darren eventually returned to the hotel, but were still very ill and barely ventured out of their room for the rest of the holiday. Since the incident, Nicola's life has changed markedly, with Darren dying of a heart attack last year. She feels the experience in Cape Verde has left her with ongoing health problems, including incontinence issues.
It's like having a disablement for life. Since I've had this, whatever it is inside me, it's never been normal. I haven't been on holiday since. I've travelled everywhere. It's my passion in life and they've taken it from me.
Nicola is taking legal action against travel company TUI, along with 1,700 others who say they became ill while on holiday in Cape Verde. Back in 2019, Jade Fulbrook from Dorset booked an all-inclusive holiday at a 5-star resort in Menorca for her family of 6. But within days of arriving, she and her son became unwell.
In the middle of the night, I woke up with the most excruciating stomach pains. And then by lunchtime the next day, my son came home from the pool with my husband, and I've never seen sickness like it. He was just constantly, violently being sick. Which was really frightening, obviously, as a parent, to see your child so unwell. Hospitals are quite a scary place, but in another country, it's just completely different. They did all the tests and everything and said, "Look, you're basically suffering from severe gastroenteritis." Had to be put on IV drip.
How was your husband at this time? Because he was back at the hotel looking after the kids.
Yeah, so he was really, really stressed out. He was obviously having to look after the 3 remaining children, but also he had to think about myself and Oscar that were in the hospital.
How has this affected the way you go on holiday now?
We haven't actually been abroad since the holiday. I'm not saying that I wouldn't ever go away again, but I would definitely think very carefully about where I pick next time. We paid to have this holiday to make these amazing memories, and it just turned into a nightmare.
In Jade's case, there was a spread of norovirus amongst fellow travellers, and there was no evidence to suggest the holiday company she had booked with were at fault. However, should you find yourself unwell on holiday, Joe Rhodes, a travel journalist at Which, has advice on what to do to make it easier to make a claim if you're entitled to one. If things do go wrong, how do you look for compensation? How do you start collecting evidence?
Really think about it while you're at the destination. Report it to ideally the holiday rep as soon as you can. Then you need to think about getting medical assistance, things like medical reports, doctor's notes, even test results could be really good to use as evidence in your claim. Maybe other people are sick that you've met at the hotel. They may be able to provide a supporting statement for your claim. All of this strengthens your case.
For things like food poisoning, the clearest evidence can come from samples taken in hospital. So obtaining copies of your blood or stool sample results can make a real difference to your case.
Joe, before we go on holiday, what should we be doing?
It's always good to do a bit of research before you travel. So take Cape Verde, for instance. If you do go on the government page for Cape Verde, it says there's been increased reports of salmonella and shigella in that country. Always drink bottled water, make sure it's sealed. Be careful with things like ice and salads. Also beware with buffets of any undercooked food or food that's been lying around for a long time. It's very important to think about your travel insurance before you go on holiday. In terms of medical expenses, we actually recommend a minimum of £5 million cover.
It's also worth getting a free Global Health Insurance Card, the GHIC, via the NHS website. This should give you access to the healthcare system at the same rate as the locals. But you still need insurance in case you need paid-for treatment as well.
If you do get ill whilst on holiday, who should take responsibility for that?
If you booked a package holiday, that will be the tour operator that you booked that with. If you booked your hotel separately, but you booked it through a UK booking site, then you could actually be protected under the Consumer Rights Act.
Another tip is to make sure that the company who you've booked your holiday with belongs to one of the trade associations, such as ABTA. That way, you can escalate your claim to them if you're not getting results with your original provider.
Foreign holidays should be wonderful experiences, full of fun and relaxation. So when it comes to your health, be vigilant, because the only things you want to bring home are great memories.